Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us this evening for the new student orientation for the Engineering and Management suite of programs here at UMBC. I'm Kim Edmonds. I am the Graduate Program Manager in the Office of Professional Programs. Many of you, all of you, will have corresponded with me at some point during the process. Tonight, we're going to hear from Dr. Toby Gauker, who is the Assistant Graduate Program Manager for all of the programs, and he'll take you through a presentation. But tonight is really a way for all of you as new students to see and greet one another virtually and to ask questions and get acquainted with your program before you start classes next week. August 31st. Without further ado, I'll hand things over to Dr. Gauker and let him get started.
Okay, thanks, Kim. We're going to keep this rather informal. We're going to briefly run through the programs once again so you'll remember what you got yourselves into. And then we're going to spend some time with some tips that I've learned from students that have come before you over the past 10 years that I've been teaching in this program. And feel free to use the chat board to, pick out people that you may know or people that you might want to meet. This is a good time to already start your networking with your fellow students. And as Kim says, if you have questions, you can post them in the chat. But at the end, we'll open the floor for lots of questions as well. And as we go through the presentation, we'll probably turn off our video so we can get you focused on the slides mostly there. So. Okay, so first thing is a little directory of folks that you'll be working with. As Kim said, you've already worked with her extensively. It was her job to get you into this program. And then the next two people, myself and Dr. Winchester, it's our job to get you out of the program because you didn't sign up to be a lifelong student in a master's degree or a graduate certificate program. You want to come to school, do your studies, and then work through the rest of your career. So please reach out to us at any time. I in particular am overseeing the engineering management and technical management programs, although I can certainly answer questions about the other programs. And Dr. Winchester is the primary place where you go with questions on systems engineering, the integrated product design and manufacturing, or the project management certificate programs. But again, he's fully capable of answering questions on engineering management and technical management as well. Okay. So as you all know, the programs are geared towards working professionals. Most of our students have jobs, and so the classes are scheduled to be in the evening time. They either have a 4:30, 6 o'clock, or 7:10 start time. Classes are both online and in hybrid format this fall, and some of the hybrid classes and online classes will have synchronous meetings, which means that the time frame for the day of the week your class is scheduled, you'll actually log into Blackboard through Collaborate or another web conferencing center, and you'll have a live class online with your faculty members and fellow classmates. When you're in class together, you'll find that there are lots of discussions and class problems that go on. It's a very interactive classroom. When you come to graduate school, it's not so much about a faculty member spoon feeding you with lots of lecture material. They present lecture material to you, and then you're supposed to, as an adult learner, wrestle with that material so that you gain ownership of that material, and you'll try exercises, you'll try interviewing techniques, you'll try confrontation techniques, all kinds of things. You'll do project management activities, all kinds of other things like that. Be sure when you're in class, as part of that interaction, to challenge the faculty members for examples of the theory that they're giving you. Make them show you where they have practiced it in their careers. Most of all of our faculty are probably, well in excess of 10 years, maybe 20 or 30 years of experience in industry with their advanced degrees. And so they're able to give you real world examples of how the new principles that you're going to see are going to work and play in the real world once you learn them in the classroom. For those of you who have not registered, I encourage you to do so immediately. There's a class search function on the website. And all the classes that we teach, the required classes, are taught several times a year. But some of the special topics classes that you may be interested in may not be available every year. So if you see a special topics class, I want you to encourage you to sign up for that right away. All right, so a quick review of the technical management curriculum. These are the core subject areas in the technical management degree program, and most of those courses are available several times during the year. But when you branch out into your specialty area in technical management, that's where you're going to want to look, whether you're looking for breadth or depth, that's where you're going to want to look for courses in other departments. Sometimes there are special requirements, like, for example, in data science, to enter those programs, you have to prove to them that you are capable of understanding data sciences at a graduate level, or else, sign up for a prerequisite type course first. Other classes, in some of the other departments are on a first come, first serve basis to majors in that field of study, like for example, information systems. So you'll want to sign up for those courses as soon as you see them. The engineering management similarly has a core set of courses. All 4 of these courses are offered all 3 times a year, in the fall, in the spring, and in the summer term semester. So I encourage you, while these are attractive to take these and get these out of the way, I want to encourage you to work on your breadth courses and work on your depth courses in your specialized field of study or pathway, because those are the courses that are not as available as often. And so when you see those courses come up, you want to grab them. Here's kind of an example of the master's degree approach for students who are working on this in a full-time capacity. They'll be taking 3 classes per semester, and then you can also see a part-time program for those who want to bite it off in smaller chunks and say maybe only take 2 classes per semester. For full-time students, we recommend you take a couple of the core courses but in the first semester, but then immediately jump into some technical electives courses. And in your second semester, continue with a core course. In this case, it was engineering, law, and ethics as an example, but then take 2 more technical electives, if they're available for you. And then in the third semester, you'll want to finish off your technical electives and take the management elective course that you're offered as well. And the reason for that management elective in the third semester is that's always going to be available, no matter what. So that's why, again, the focus is on getting you into some technical electives relatively early. And then in the last semester, that management elective this semester is being transitioned to being a capstone experience for full-time and part-time students. But then full-time students, having only taken 1 course, the capstone course, have time for an internship in their new field of study. If they're looking to find a new job or to find a job in general, they can take a work study, 20 hours a week somewhere in the community. On a part-time basis, you can see it's just a little slower uptake. You start with a couple of required courses and then ease into your electives a little later on. But these are just examples of how you would want to approach this. In systems engineering, here's the core courses that are laid out. There are 6 of them, 5 required courses plus the systems engineering project that's in the center here. These are also surrounded by, an option to help you let you customize your program of study, whether you want to, study systems engineering from an electrical engineering point of view, or systems engineering from a cybersecurity point of view, or you want to take advanced systems, or you want to do advanced project management, etc. You're allowed to do a little bit of tailoring of your program of study. And once again, just like in the other programs, if you have particular courses in mind, as soon as you see those courses, I want you to sign up for those. All of our classes this semester are pretty full. It usually happens in in times of economic uncertainty. Lots of people come back to school to try and shore up their their business and technical acumen so that they can stay more secure in their career field. So you have lots of fellow students this semester, and like I said, most of the classes are full. Here's an example of how students go through the systems engineering program. It's a little more technical and robust in nature, so it's atypical for someone to try to take systems engineering as a full-time student, taking 3 classes at a time. It is possible to do, but you've got to be a very serious student, and typically students who are full-time systems engineering students are not also working full-time. So the presentation I have here for you is more of a part-time student taking 2 classes per year. You start off with the sequence of systems engineering 660, and then you move to 661, 662, 663, etc. through the curriculum. And you want to take them in numerical order because they build on each other. So the most important thing, and the E and EE has been changed over to SY ST, so it's a Systems Engineering 660 class that you'll want to be signing up for. Okay, in addition to your primary program study, be it technical management, systems engineering, or engineering management, you have an option. It is not a requirement, but you have an option to pursue a pathway of studies. Okay, so you know, as an engineering manager, you can kind of make a pathway specialization in project management, or data science, or cybersecurity, or systems engineering. If you're a systems engineering student, you can decide to make a specialization or a pathway in cybersecurity or integrated product development and manufacturing. So you can kind of mix and match or cross over even into, you know, biochemical and regulatory engineering. If you pursue a certificate option, I recommend that you sign up for that certificate right away. That helps give you priority for these more specialized courses in the certificates. And it'll let you get started on those classes right away as well. But you don't have to pursue a certificate option. I see lots of students who want to remain very broad in their graduate studies and have lots of career and job options. So for their specialization courses, instead of a particular pathway, they'll take 1 class in data sciences, 1 in cybersecurity, 1 in systems engineering principles, and then maybe even 1 in, you know, biochemical operations or project management class as well. So you don't, like I say, you don't have to specialize in a pathway. And sometimes specializing in a pathway. Oh, how do we start? The question: how do we start with a certificate right away? Let me answer that question at the end. So, all right. There's a special web page for each of the programs. I know you probably looked at some of the tabs on the web page, but I want you to go back and look at the forms, academic planning forms under the forms tab, and look to fill out your planning form for your advanced studies over the next coming up semesters. It's always good to put together a plan for all of your semesters, so that and then show it to your advisor, which will be either Dr. Winchester or myself, so that we can give you a heads up. You know, if you're planning to take a specialty course in a semester that we know it's not available, we'll help you switch it around so that you don't miss out on a chance for some of those specialty courses to keep your studies most efficient. So here's the links, the hyperlinks to each of the programs, you know, landing pages, and on each of those landing pages there are academic planning forms as well. Also, I can tell you that you can reach the certificate program through those planning form pages for the certificate. If you find the certificate that you're looking for and search for it on the web, you'll find an Apply Now button for that. Kim will give us some more details on, I think there's an internal way to get to that as well.
Sure. Would you like me to answer that right now, or?
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll
Okay.
pause and let you do that.
Okay, so first off, I did put in the chat, I just put a link that will show to student forums. And if you click on the academic planning forms, you'll see all of the academic planning forms for whatever program you're in. And you should take a look at that, as Dr. Gauka mentioned. So if you want to add a certificate, what I would recommend is take at least one of the courses from the certificate that you're intending to add. Make sure you like it. And then you can add the certificate by an internal process. It's just one form. And what you would do is really just contact me and say, hey, Kim, I'd like to add systems engineering certificate to my engineering management degree. And I'll send you a link to the form. You fill it out. It goes right to the graduate school, and the program is added onto your onto your student record. And one of the things you do need to know is that as you're graduating, you would get a diploma for both your degree and your certificate. You have to apply to both, and it's really important that you get a B or better in each class that would go towards your certificate. So you have to stay in good standing, which is something you have to do anyways as you're moving through your program.
Thanks, Kim. Okay. Now I want to run through a couple of pages on some tips for success. These are a little more informal, but they're still kind of mission critical for you. And the first is, as I've already been saying, if you're looking for a specialization or a generalization, now is a good time to make that selection. You don't have to have a pathway, but if you're interested in pursuing a pathway, start off with that pathway. Take that trial course like Kim says. If it's something that you like, then sign up for that pathway so that you can get kind of priority seating and apply for it so you get that priority registration for those. Okay. If it's technical, try to register for one of the technical courses in another department. Like I said, lots of the other departments have students who are in, say, a master's degree in mechanical engineering or a master's degree in information system or a master's degree in chemical engineering, and they put those courses together for students who are majoring in those fields of studies. If they have leftover seats, then they will make those available to us in our department. So once you see one of those seats show up and it's a course of interest, that's when you really want to grab that right away, okay? Next, up here is to make friends with your fellow classmates and find a study buddy. Just like you have a better chance of being successful, at a new exercise program or a new diet program, you'll find studies are the same way. If you have someone who can appreciate and understand, the struggles and trials and tribulations you're going through as a study buddy and give you some tips and tricks that they know as they go along, it will be really beneficial to you to find someone just like, you say you're training for a 5K or a half marathon or whatever, your study buddy or your exercise buddy calls you up and says, hey, I know you want to sleep in today, and I know it's raining, but let's get out there and do our run so we don't embarrass ourselves on race day. Same thing happens in classes. If you say like, oh, I don't feel like I want to go to class, I had a hard day at work today, your study buddy will call you up and say, hey, I missed you in class. Let's not do that again. You're never going to graduate if you don't get through. So study buddies are certainly an important part as a tip for success. Next point is I want you to come to school. We all have this tendency to meet and greet and sit with people who look like us and act like us and think like us. But graduate school is the absolute perfect time to broaden your horizons. I mean, you are here to learn about things that are, of a managerial and technical orientation. You also would benefit as a future manager from learning about different cultural backgrounds, different ways of thinking, different perspectives on life, different different preferences of all kinds. And so make sure you meet and greet the people in your classroom. And when you're signing up for group activities in class, again, don't pick people that look like you, act like you, talk like you, think like you. Challenge yourself to pick the people who are different from you to broaden your horizons and become a more differentiated person in the world. It's really critical and very helpful when you get out into the working world to have those kinds of experiences. And they're easy and free to get in a graduate school classroom like we have here. We have highly diversified classes. Okay, and the next point, if you're not working full-time, you say you're a professional student who's come from undergraduate studies straight into this program, it's important that you find some kind of a work context to put your studies into. Either pick up a part-time job or volunteer or join a club, or think back to past work experiences you've had, because all of these programs of study are meant for working professionals, and all the principles that you're going to learn are going to be best anchored in something that you do every day so that you can remember it. So if you don't have a job, find some kind of work to put your studies into so that they can have better context for you and understanding. Next, get to know your instructors. Like I said earlier, challenge all of them. They are here for you. They're not here to make sure you fail. They're here to make sure that you learn the material and pass their courses. If you don't understand something, or you need, a theory explained in the context of your particular work experiences, challenge them, work with them, get them to explain things to you in a different way if things aren't making sense to you. I know them all very well, and they're all very anxious to have successful learners. So don't treat them as if they are a sage on the stage, with the ultimate pronouncements. Treat them as if they are a guide on the side, helping you through your studies, and ask them those questions. And speaking of graduate studies, there's a big transition for folks that are coming from undergraduate studies and going into graduate school. Lots of times in undergraduate programs of study, the faculty tends to spoon feed you everything, tell you when things are due, tell you what you need to do here, what you need to do there, how to think, how to act, how to walk, how to talk. That is not what happens in graduate school. Graduate school is the beginning of your training on how to think for yourself, form your own opinions, and learn how to teach yourselves. Remember, I said earlier that treat your faculty as a guide on the side. It's very important that you don't try to answer any of your homework assignment questions, any of your essay questions, any of your case study questions. Don't sit there and think, what does my professor want me to think here? What does he want me to say? He wants you to think for yourself and form your own opinion, and then support your own opinion through graduate level research. Okay, that you learn how to do and find out for yourself on the side. So graduate school is not an exercise in spoon feeding. Exercise it's an exercise in mental acuity and teaching you how to learn on your own. Okay. Next and most important point here is to, in graduate school, watch out for plagiarism. You're going to be asked many times to cite references for the thoughts and ideas that you present. And it's okay to bring thoughts and ideas of others to the table. It's actually extremely critical and important to do so. But when you do so, you have to get credit to the originating author. Do not claim credit for someone else's ideas on your own. Don't do a copy paste of text from someone else's writing. Give credit to that author. Your graduate instructors will give you credit from finding those thought leaders and doing the right job of making citations. Okay, you are responsible for knowing all the deadlines for your assignments. Most everything that you need to know will be found in all of the syllabi that you're given for each of the courses, due dates and assignments. Also, the website is very good at telling you when you need to register for courses, when the last add drop date is, when you can withdraw from a course if you need to withdraw from a course. There are notifications that tell you when you need to be applying for graduation for your degree or your certificate. All these deadlines are out there for you to find. No one is specifically going to come to you and give them to you. They're there for you to seek out. So learn those deadlines, because I'd hate to have you miss them. Okay, next point is, if you're having trouble with your writing assignments at the graduate level, we want you to contact the Writing Center right away. This is sometimes students come to us and they struggle a little bit with writing at a graduate level in an American English business setting. And unfortunately, we are not, we're not a graduate program, in English studies or straight business communications. These are graduate programs in engineering management, systems engineering, and technical management. So we have resources that can help you with these, but we cannot take the time to teach them to you during classroom time because the other students, already know what they're doing. But ask your faculty member if you can't find it, get yourself access to the Writing Center right away. Don't wait, don't struggle. The folks at the Writing Center are absolutely awesome. They're excellent. They will get right with you. They'll sit down beside you or sit with you online, ask you to show them what assignment you're working on, and they'll help you get a path forward so that you could be a successful student. And the last point here I have for you is if you think there is trouble on the horizon of any kind, whether it's academic or personal in nature, we don't need to know the personal details of any situations that you have, but we would like to know if you're having struggles with family or work or etc., because it may impact your studies. We recognize here that your job, your family comes first, your job comes second, and we hope that your studies come third because they'll support your future career and your family's benefit. But if problems are going to come up, please don't wait till after the fact to talk to us about them. We have lots of flexibility to help negotiate things as you go through your path forward, whether it's in a class or between classes. Let us know so we can jump in and help you so that you don't end up as the sole owner of the problem. Okay? All right. That's our quick summary and survey, and open up the floor for questions.
So before we run to questions, there is one thing I neglected to say at the beginning, and that is just that this session is going to be recorded for two reasons: for quality assurance, and it will actually be sent to each of you once we get it all edited and things, in case you have any questions or want to go back to the slides. And of course, it's also for any students who didn't get to join us tonight. So I just want to let you know that before we move forward. And as Dr. Gelker mentioned, we're happy to open up for questions.
And don't be shy. Throw those questions out there. You have our email as well from, and I'll probably go back to, that's probably a better place to leave it so that people can be sure they copy it down if they want particular questions of us individually or private questions. But for anybody who has any questions, feel free to post them. We've got a little bit of time here for you. Everybody signed up for all their classes? Everybody still looking to sign up for classes?
Yes, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
As far as online classes go, are they live classes or can they be recorded and attended later?
I would tell you that that there are some of our classes where all of the lectures are already recorded. There are certain classes that we strategically put out there because we know there are some students who are studying from outside the United States still due to some issues, and so there are time zones from around the world out there. So all those lectures will be recorded. I also have instructed all of our faculty that are teaching where there are what we call synchronous class times online, as opposed to that asynchronous mode where you would attend class, say on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock online, to make sure that they record those lectures in case someone has a family obligation or a work obligation where they can't attend the class. They can then at least view the recorded lecture. So by and large, all of the online classes should have recorded lectures, either permanently or on an as needed basis. I know we didn't answer everybody's questions. What did you come to this orientation expecting to hear about and didn't hear about?
Okay, I've got a question. Good evening. I apologize. I joined late.
No problem.
Really sorry about that. Yeah, I want to ask a question about how I can fund my program. I don't know if it's this would be a forum to answer that question, but so the company I work for, I just joined a new company, and then they are providing tuition reimbursement, and I was wondering how that will work. I mean, if you've had such experience with graduate students in this program before, and is there anything that makes that process smoother or that can help me to get that one green? Because they're asking me for course requirements. I have to submit a degree plan that shows all my course requirements and all those kind of things. So I don't really know if you're able to help me with that or if there's any information you can provide in that regards.
Okay, yeah, typically that's one of the things they want to do is they want to see your complete program and study. They kind of like want to know if we're paying for you to go to grad school or we're helping to pay for it, we want to know what kind of a program you're in. Make sure you're not taking a master's degree in basket weaving. That wouldn't be of use to us. We want to make sure it's a useful degree, and so they'll just want to see filling out that either on their form or our form, your course plan of action, the courses you plan to take. We can also help you if they need more description of what people do with the program and study, but primarily that's what they're going to want to see is what is the end product goal? What does the curriculum look like? I think you're on the right path. And typically most tuition reimbursement courses have you pay for the class up front and then they reimburse you after the fact. Some will pay up front, but most ask you to upfront the cost of your first class, and then they'll give you the money at the end of the class when you earn a B or better, typically in the class.
That's right. So I'm sorry about this. So I think that means, would that mean that I would need to source for my fees on my own, and then, or is there a way that UMBC schedule this, or is there a way I can work it out with UMBC or with the finance department or something? I'm not sure. Is there, or how does it work really?
Yeah, I don't know. Kim, do you know whether there's any advanced financing? I don't imagine there is, and you may want to ask your employer specifically whether they pay upfront or they pay after you complete the course. Because
No, they pay after I complete a course, actually.
Okay. Yeah, so you're looking for some bridging funding, and I don't have an answer, Kim. Maybe the financial aid office does.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is that what some students will do is they can apply for a financial aid, and it's all loans at this level, and you pay that way, and then your employer pays you back, and it's kind of one big cycle, right? I mean, then you just pay the loan back, and you don't have to have a loan out really. So I do know that other students have been in your situation and use tuition reimbursement. I would just really go back to your company and just like get the details of exactly what they need, to make sure that you understand exactly what needs to happen. But yeah, and unfortunately we don't have like sort of a bridge, but you could, take loans and then
you can apply for loans, and that's something that the financial aid office can guide you to. So I would reach out to them directly.
Yep.
Okay.
We're not that good on the financial side of things.
Right.
I didn't expect.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would too. I was just trying my luck.
Yeah, okay. Ask the question. I don't know if anyone else that is on the call has a solution. Feel free to offer that up. That this is again a good time to share if someone else has been down that path and has a solution.
I'll also put the financial aid website in the link. Yeah, in the chat.
Great.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So I'll add something while I'm looking for this link. Just, I know folks may still need to register, and of course you can register right up until the day before classes without any kind of fee or penalty. If you register on August 31st and beyond, then you do get a fee for each class that you register for. I think it's like $20 or something like that. And saying that, I also want to mention that I know some students sort of over-register, right? They'll register for 4 or 5 classes. They only need 2 or 3. If you're doing that, just, really appreciate it if you would drop the classes that you don't need, because we always have students who are trying to get into our classes at the last minute, and inevitably the day before we'll see, there's three spaces left. We just told the student that they couldn't get in. So, just to think about your other your class, because we want to get everybody started as soon as possible.
Okay, if we don't have any other questions, feel free
Hi.
to, right, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Vicky, and I have a certain question regarding the waiting list of the course. I'm waiting, I'm on the queue of like on the 4th number for one course. So how will I come to know that waiting list will be clear or not? So that I can find another course to
Yeah,
study.
which class is it?
So it's about management, leadership, and communication. Yeah, you are the only instructor.
Yeah, it's unlikely that any of those are going to clear. Maybe 1 or 2 at the most. If you're in 4th position, I wouldn't think that would be the case. But we do have another class that is management, leadership, and communications. If you may not know this yet, but ENMG 652 is when I teach that class, it is also BTEC 665. Okay, so the biotechnology department and the engineering management department share that course. Okay, so it's often dual listed, and there happens to be a section that people don't know about of BTEC 665 that has open seats in it. So there's no waiting list.
Okay, so I just write it down. So I'll just cross check it.
Yeah. Write that down and send me an email for that, because it's technically, even though it's fully online, the online offering is coming from our Shady Grove campus. So Nancy Clements will have to give you permission to register for it, but once she does that, it's easy registration, and it's the same class, just a different number. It's still management,
Okay,
leadership, and communications. That'll
will
solve your
it be
problem.
hybrid or like online class?
It's online.
Online. Okay. So that's the reason I choose one another subject like product development. So I need a department consent for the same.
You need an on-site course?
No, it's not like that. Like I was on the waiting list, so that's the reason I have selected one other course, like the product development, which is taught by the Winchester Professor Winchester.
Product development has a waiting list? I'm surprised.
No, it's not on the waiting list, but I
Okay.
need the department consent for it.
Oh, yes. And to get that, you would write a note to Dr. Winchester at www.III. So that's, Woodrow Winchester III. He has a very unusual email address. It's Woodrow Winchester III, www.III.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, and you say I'm interested in taking, I'm interested in the IPDM certificate program, and I would like to take, ENME 615. Can you give me permission? He'll probably say yes. I don't see why he wouldn't, and there are seats available.
Okay. Oh, I'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, it's me again. I just want to ask again. I'm not sure I understood clearly what you meant, what you said about these earlier. If I want to get a degree plan, how do I? Is this something I can access online myself, or I need somebody to send it to me?
Can you find the web page, Kim, for the academic planning form? Is there?
Yeah, so I posted it in the chat, but I think that
management, Emmanuel, engineering management, correct?
No, I mean systems engineering.
Systems engineering. Okay.
Okay. Hang on. So what happened was I posted in the chat, but if he came in after, he can't see it. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Right. Okay.
So, all right, let me post it again. Sorry, my computer is going very slowly. So anyway, so I did post it twice again. So if you click there and then you click academic planning forms, you'll find a planning form for every program that we offer in professional programs. So you'll find yours as well. And then I would also again recommend, for anyone who's having any questions about sort of program requirements, things like that, if you just go to program page for your program, it's laid out pretty, clearly there, just to make sure that, you know what classes you need to take now and, as you move through the program.
There's the PDF to the systems engineering form.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Got it.
You may have to cut and paste that. Sometimes the box forms don't open. If it doesn't open for you, then cut and paste it into your browser.
Yeah.
Any other questions coming up? The only other thing I would also mention about adding other classes from other programs, even data science, things like that. Again, sometimes those programs will have sort of a permission process to get into their courses, and as long as there's space, you can get in. But you may have to either contact the program coordinator, or if me, I can connect you to that person, and then put you on a list and make sure that you're in the process to get those courses. And that works sometimes as well. So a lot of it is just, again, getting permission. Like maybe you won't be able to just get into a class on your own, but you can get permission to do that. And then for all the new students, I know when you got accepted, you got lots of links for forms and tutorials and other things to turn in and submit. I would just want to sort of remind you to do that within the first, 2 to 4 weeks of the semester, and that includes, again, academic integrity tutorial and any of the tutorials from the university health centers. And the reason why you need to make sure you do that is because if you don't get those things done in the first couple of weeks, what happens is when you get to the next semester in the spring and registration opens for current students, you can't register and you're blocked, and you're sort of like, why am I blocked? And you don't know why. And it just becomes a big thing. So try to make sure you get those done. As long as you get them done within the first, again, 2 to 4 weeks of semester, you should be fine.
Hi, I just had, I want to just clarify something.
Sure.
Yeah, so like Kim mentioned that suppose we're taking a pathway. So once we register for a subject, we have to email her and then she will register us for the pathway, right?
She'll send you a link to apply for the pathway.
Okay, so but I can select the course before I submit the form, right?
Typically you can, unless it is the data science pathway. That's something that you probably have to apply for. There's a special another special form that you fill out.
Okay, is there a deadline to fill up this form?
So no, there isn't. And I
just before you take the class.
Oh, no. Okay. I think he's talking about two different things, Toby.
Oh,
So,
okay.
For data science specifically, let's say you want to take data science 601 and you're not a data science student. You have to fill out a permission form specifically to take that class. And Dr. Simsek in that department will review the form and say whether you can get into the class or not. To add the data science certificate is, if you want to have it added for this semester, yes, you need to fill out the form before September 14th. But there isn't any big rush to do that. You can do, as long as you do it, before the final semester that you're here, the certificates gets added onto your record, and then you have both programs going at once. And then when you graduate, you would, get a diploma for each.
All
If
right.
that makes sense.
Yeah, so will this pathway be considered like a major or a minor for me?
It depends on what the pathway is, and it's like a not really a major or a minor. I would call it more of a specialization. I mean, because it's really only a 4-course sequence, so it's not quite even a minor, you know, with regards to what you would consider as an undergraduate program, but it's just a concentration or a specialization in an area of study. And some of them carry a special certificate that you can earn for it, and others do not. But it's still a 4-course sequence.
Okay, so suppose if I take engineering management and suppose technical management, and so I register for it, and then I send her an email, and then she sends me a form, and I got to submit that form before I graduate, so I get the certification, right?
That's it. Yes, correct. You got it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry, this is Emmanuel again. I have a question about the degree plan. Thank you, Dr. Gurka, for sending it to me. I see that I have there are 4 courses for elective, right?
Right. Yeah.
For those electives, do I so let's say I'm because I'm actually in between leadership, the management and the leadership parts, and then also thinking about cybersecurity. And now let's say I'm not sure if I can choose 2 courses and the leadership and the management related, and there may be 2 courses in cybersecurity. If I'm able to do that, I don't know. So that's one question. Then 2, let's say if I want to do that and complete this program and then do a certification in one of these areas, how would that work? So those are my 2 questions. I don't know if I'm
okay. First, the answer to the first question is yes. You can take 2. Say, for example, you could take management, leadership and communications, and strategic management, and then take cyber warfare and cybersecurity law and policy. No problem. That would be acceptable as your 4 credits.
okay.
But you could also complete the degree program and not take any cyber courses, or take 1 or 2 cyber courses, and then say after so you've got your degree because you finished your 30 credit hours. Say you take just what we said, but then you said, oh gosh, I'm 2 years down the road now. I really would like to get a certificate in cybersecurity. Well, you've already taken 2 of the 4 courses required for the graduate certificate in cybersecurity. You would just apply for the certificate program, take 2 more courses, and earn that as well.
Got it. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Gurka.
You bet. Thank you for all your questions, because I think you're helping others who just are afraid to ask questions. No problem.
Hello there. Monica Kepper here. I just had a quick question as well, or I guess follow up on the last discussion.
Okay.
So just to make sure I understand on my end, so I'm also kind of interested in the cybersec area. I had signed up for one of the first courses for that as one elective.
Okay.
And you're stating that even if I finished this guy and I didn't end up going down the cybersec route, I could actually loop back like after a year or 2 and actually go back into that individualized program to just gain that certificate specifically.
That is correct.
Oh, right on. That's really cool. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, you can either embed it in the degree program, or you can take part of it and finish it afterwards. We just try to make it as efficient as possible and flexible as possible.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You bet. And cyber is clearly a very attractive area. It's ubiquitous. The needs in any industries. I would recommend to anyone at least a introduction to cybersecurity class to any of the engineering managers or systems folks if they have an open elective.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hi, Dr. Gallagher, there's a question in the chat. It's, okay, can I take 2 subjects in a single day, which are not overlapping? Absolutely. So, if the class time is 4:30 to 7, and then 7:10 to 9:40, and that's, when we're operating in person. So if the classes are scheduled out that way, you can certainly take 2. Absolutely.
Hello, I had a question. So I have enrolled for 3 management courses. So I have already registered for these 3 particular courses. So I'm planning to drop one management course and take a data science introduction course. And I see in the enroll section that it is available. So it is showing that I can register it and even the slots are available. So should I directly do it or should I write a mail to get enrolled into that particular course?
Okay, so for data science, even if you try to add it right now, you wouldn't be able to add it because you have to go through a permission process for that. I can send you the link for, there's a Google document that you need to fill out, and then Dr. Simsek, who's the graduate program director for that program, will contact you and let you know if you've been admitted into that class. So what I would do is hang on to the classes you have, apply for the data course for permission, and if you get permission into it, then drop the one that you don't think you need.
Okay, please kindly send me the link.
Yeah. Okay. I think I can put it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, you can put it in the chat. For those who are interested in data science, the reason for this exclusivity is because they're trying to protect students who aren't properly prepared, like I said, to work at data science at the graduate level. So, they want to make sure that you've had proper undergraduate training in statistics, which is not something that we necessarily check for as an engineering manager. And they want to know that you know something about a programming language, say R or Python or something else, because there is a fair amount of scripting that's done in that class, and so they don't want you to get caught flat-footed, not having any programming language experience, and struggle and not be successful. So all they're doing with that form is just checking on a few items like that.
If you guys can bear with me, my computer's just moving really slowly, but I'll find the link in it.
Hey, I got a question. Sorry. I'm just hoping that this is not. This is a question that I should probably know the answer, but I don't. So in the document that Dr. Bucher shared, it has the technical depth and then the technical breadth. And I'm wondering, what are the courses that would be considered technical depth and then technical breadth courses? And that in the document, yes.
Yeah, the website has
I can find that on the website.
Yeah, the website has a detailed description of that.
Okay. I will look into that.
Okay, in which building? Our Department of Engineering Management, in case wants me to meet any professor in person. The Engineering Management Department has faculty in both the engineering building and the information systems and engineering building. So but we use classrooms in many other buildings as well. So in all likelihood, if you're the adjunct faculty that you're meeting with typically don't have a permanent office on site. They're all working professionals that come in residence and share temporary offices. So if you're going to meet with a faculty member, if you ask them where they want to meet, they'll tell you where they want to meet. Because like I say, it could be in maybe any one of 4 or 5 different buildings, depending on where their class is meeting at that time. So I've taught in the life science, the integrated life sciences building. I've taught in the bioengineering building. I've taught in the mechanical engineering department classroom. So we're kind of interdisciplinary. Okay, I think we've reached the top of the hour. We're free to answer questions. Just email the rest of them that come to us. Or come to you over the next couple of days. We're happy to help you with further questions, but don't want to keep folks past an hour online here without without a vigorous set of additional questions.
Just one doubt I had regarding the hybrid
Sure.
course. So the classes begin on 31st August, right? So I just wanted to know
Yes.
the hybrid courses, will the first class will be in person or will it be online?
Which class is it?
It's the one that you are taking, leadership, management, and communication, I guess.
Management, Leadership, and Communications. Are you in my section?
Yes, mostly, yes.
Okay. If you're in my section, there are no in-person or synchronous online classes. That particular section is designed so that, like I said earlier, students in all time zones can participate when it's appropriate for them. So everything in there is recorded. You can certainly reach out to me at any time, for follow-up discussions. But you'll find that the class will start, the first week of assignments will open up on August 31st, but there will be no live lecture at that point in time. You'll be able to view recorded lectures on that date and time. But a few minutes ago, I actually opened up the classroom for what I call week 0 so that people can look at the syllabus and order textbooks and things like that. So you should be able to log into Blackboard right now and check out the syllabus and get more details.
All right. Is this the same for all the subjects?
No, there is a section of management, leadership, communication that is meeting in a hybrid format, so that there will be, half the time live classrooms on campus, the other time will be online. And then there's another section that is meeting in a synchronous and asynchronous format, so where there will be live lectures online and recorded materials online. So we have lots of flexibility. And whichever works best for you, you can try to switch to different sections, but given that all 3 sections are typically full, sometimes people add drop, and like I looked earlier today, and there was a seat open in the hybrid mode, but that seat may be gone by now. So people are adding and dropping fairly quickly now.
Okay. Thank you.
Just have to check for it.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay.
That might seem fairly obvious. There are no classes on Labor Day. So if, the start of the semester starts on a Tuesday, August 31st. If your class is scheduled on a Monday, you will not have classes on Monday. September 6th, the first class would meet the following week, which would be the 13th.
Yeah, September 13th would be the first class, right?
Yeah.
I have a small question. Like, I had taken a special topics course called Topics in Engineering Management. Will that be considered as a elective or a core course?
That will be considered a core course. It's a substitute. It's by next semester, it will be replacing ENMG 652 as the primary core course. So it's a substitute for 652 core course.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for that question. That's an important one. And for anyone who's looking to get into management, leadership, and communication 652 and can't find a seat, and they're an engineering management student, the special topics introduction to engineering management is a great course to take. There are seats available in that class. There's at least 5 seats open in that class right now, so you can get off the 652 waiting list and go into 681 right away. I have product development in person. Will it be conducted on campus? Yes, at least some of the classes are in person on campus. You can check with the instructor, write to them directly, or wait for them to start sending out the syllabus. They'll tell you what the schedule is for classes on campus. But right now, if he hasn't posted the syllabus, you can feel free to write to the faculty member, send them an email.
Okay. So I think we can wrap up. Dr. Gowker, did you have anything else to add?
Nope. I'll see.
I have a question. Sorry, I have a, I'm not able to open the link. So it is saying that we need permission. So try contacting the owner of the farm.
Okay,
So
so the way you get to that link is probably do you have a multiple Google Gmail accounts?
yeah,
Okay, so what's happening is your computer is confused. What you need to do is log out and stop playing Star Trek in the background.
sorry.
I see. See how quick us techies get this stuff?
Yeah.
So you need to log out of all your other Google accounts and then log in only to your UMBC Google account, and then you'll automatically have permission to see the form. It just thinks you're outside the community because you've got another Google Gmail account opened up.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You bet.
I'm sorry. Last chance. Once again, if there are any final questions,
Great.
otherwise,
Yeah. Great question.
these have been really great questions. So, but if you don't have any others, we can wrap up for the evening. Of course, Dr. Gowker and I are always available by email. If you shoot us an email, we'll get back to you pretty quickly. That also goes for Dr. Winchester. If you have specific questions about systems engineering or integrated product design and manufacturing or project management, feel free to contact him if you're needing advising guidance or anything like that. So, and I think with that, we'll say goodnight. Dr. Gowker, you want to say one last thing?
No, looking forward to seeing folks on campus soon.